Hi everybody, it's Amanda from Scrimpingmommy.co.uk and today I'm going to show you how I've made this cute little shaker wand. It's a miniature one and so the components are too narrow for foam tape, so what I've done is I've done it in a different way by layering up the circles. It does shake. The only sequins that I have to hand are a little bit too large for this project. I would suggest using the Stampin' Up sequins, these are non-Stampin' Up, which are a little bit smaller, or seed beads or glitter, okay, is what I would suggest. So I'm going to show you what I've done. So first of all, you punch your shapes, and I'm starting with a 1-inch circle punch, and I'm punching quite a few. I'm going to punch between 6 and 8. Leave space in between because you're going to re-punch over. These you can save for another embellishment. I'm going to come and make another embellishment with these to show you that they're not wasted. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over that with the 1 3/8 of an inch scallop punch, which is a new one. We've got a duo. There's the 1 3/8 and the 1 1/8. Okay, we're using the larger one, and we're going to go back over this where we've punched and centralise it best you can. You know, you don't have to measure it and get all you know, uptight about it. Just do it relatively, and then you're re-punching that shape. Okay, so I'll do that on all of them. And then we're going to layer them because, you know, so we don't have to use foam tape. It can be difficult sometimes to use foam tape or foam strips when you're doing a circular project. And if it's very, very narrow like this is, because it's a mini project, it's a mini embellishment, the foam tape would just be too wide. It's just not possible. Okay. So those are my circles done for layering, and then I need some window sheet for front and back. So I've got my window sheet here. I'm ashamed to say I'm punching into a full sheet because I don't have any scraps, and we're going to punch them the same size as this, okay, exactly the same size, and you want 2. 1, 2. And your Stampin' Up punches should be fine punching that. I've got quite bad arms, so my strength makes it look like that's difficult to punch, and it isn't. It's me. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to punch another one, but I'm using a punch which is non-Stampin' Up. It's contraband, I'm sorry. And this is 2 1/4 inches, and this is what I've used for the one behind. So this is the element that we're making using the Stampin' Up ones, and then this is an extra element I'm adding. Now for this part I'm using this punch, which I've had a long time. I got it at a craft show, but you could use your dies or anything. So, you know, it's just maybe 1/2 inch bigger, or you can have it without. You know, you can do what you want. So I'm just going to punch this, then I've got all of my components ready punched. Oh, I need to, first of all I need to do my 1-inch hole first. I nearly forgot. So I need to do my 1-inch hole, the same as the other process, and then centralise that so that I've got a hole going all the way through, so that obviously it's a, you know, a see-through project all the way through. Okay, I'll just show you the sticks that I'm using are these. They are cake pop sticks. Now, depending on the length you want your stick to be, if you want it really miniature, you can cut these in half. It's compressed paper, so I just used these ones that are a little bit stronger. Okay. You could use a regular straw, I suppose, and cut it down. It would just be fatter. These cake pop sticks just look a bit more kind of to scale, if you know what I mean. Okay, so what you do then is you find your window sheet and you simply start and glue all of your pieces together. So I'm going to very carefully dot glue just tiny dots. You don't need a lot because you don't want to get glue all over your acetate. It will look a mess, and you know, then you won't be pleased with your project. Then line it up the best that you can. Doesn't matter if it's not perfect, it really doesn't. Just do the best that you can, and then give that a press so that that glue spreads, and then leave it, set it aside to dry. Okay, so that's for the front, and then you do one for the back. Oops, too much glue there, it will splodge out. You don't want the glue so that it will splodge out. You just only need the tiniest amount, and if you just do it in little tiny dots all the way around, it will suffice. And then this is the back layer. I've got glue on my acetate. There we go, I've got it off. Panic over, I've got it off. Right, so we're going to put that on there, give that a press so that them little dots of glue spread out, and then leave that to one side to dry. Then we're going to get our layers. Now, you know, you can do as many or as little layers as you want depending on how much movement you want. Because I've got quite big sequins, I'm going to do quite a few layers. And so I'm going to glue these all together, and I'm going to just pause my video while I do it, because you don't want to sit here and watch me glue 6 circles together. I won't be a moment. Okay, so I'm back and I have glued all of those together, so it's a little collection of well layered circles. So, you know. So, and don't worry if they're not all exactly flush because you've not punched the centre exactly in the same place. It's an embellishment. It doesn't have to be, you know, made like it's come off of a production line. It's handmade. It's for fun. So don't get too worked up. Just enjoy it and have fun. So then what we're going to do is we're going to gently dot glue all around there. And we're going to add our top layer, which has acetate on, our window sheet, and we're going to layer that up like so, and then give that a press. Now I would suggest giving it a bit of a dry time in between, because if you've got spare wet glue a little bit in there, your sequins, if you're using sequins, might stick to them at the sides. However, I'm not going to wait for mine to dry because I'm filming. And another thing that I did do just before I attached that was I did go over my window sheet with my dust buddy. It's meant to, you know, cut down on the static, apparently. So I'm just going to put some sequins in there, and that's my shaker part. And then I'm going to add the back part, which is the back window sheet. So I'm going to very, very carefully, again, dot glue all the way around there. Really carefully. And attach that on. Like so. And there's your little shaker element. I've not invented this, you know, you see jewellery made like this, you see all sorts. I'm just having a go with the scallop punchers. And they're moving about nice and freely. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to my DSP base, back layer rather, sorry. And I'm going to attach that on there like so. Okay. Give that a press. And then what I want to do, and I'm short of one, is I want another one to cover the back. So I'll do it again. Let's just cut some of this away. Well, I make one extra. I've miscounted. So have a play with it. It may depend how thick your sequins or your beads are as to how many layers you need to make so that they can still move around freely. You might need less layers than I did. I'm just going to make myself one for the back, and this is not essential. This doesn't help hold it together. It's just it's just for finishing off, you know, so that it looks tidy and not half done. You know, if you're going to do something, you may as well do it right, as it were. So I'm just going to attach that on there, which then covers up that circle, and then it looks complete. And then also, it wouldn't matter which side you used, okay? So I'll just give that a chance to dry a minute and bob that to one side. Now on this one, I did add a bow using the bow builder punch, which is here. You've seen me do this before on videos, so I'm not actually going to do that because it does take quite a while. Am I? No, I will. If you're going to do something, you may as well do it. Go the whole hog. I'll do it. You can always fast forward a few minutes till you get to the part where I'm attaching the stick if you don't want to see me make a bow. Okay, so we just make these really quickly with glue dots, and check my glue guns on. Just curve that with my bone folder. Okay, add some glue dots. One there. See how fast I can make this bow. I must have made hundreds of these. I absolutely love this punch and I use it all of the time. I love making bows on my envelope punch board if I need some bigger ones. But this is just brilliant. It's the best punch. I'm never getting rid of it. Never, ever, ever. It's brilliant. It's so quick and so immediate. And the shape of the bow is really pretty as well. I'll just put my the tail bits on, and you attach them to the back. Another one. Making sure I use all of my glue dots. I don't leave any behind. Okay. Now I'm going to just cut a little bit of DSP to wrap around, just to wrap around my bow, just to tie that pink back into the DSP that I've used, so it doesn't all just look like a big wash of pink. Okay, a little glue dot on there, stick it on the back, wrap it round. Cut off the excess. You know, and if you get yourself a little production line going, you could make a whole heap of these in absolutely no time. You can add, what can you do with them? You can stick these on cards. You could turn it into a baby's rattle, a fairy wand. It can go on a bag. You can attach it to a box. You can have it in your planners. You can. It's an embellishment. Whatever you want to embellish, you can use it for that. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to punch myself a little circle. You could cut a piece of card by hand. I'm just being really tidy. And it's 3/4 of an inch. I'll leave that there. And then I'm getting my stick. This is a full length one. You can cut them down. I'm just going to put some hot glue here. You could probably use wet glue, but as I'm filming I want it to dry super quick, so I'm just going for the centre part, which is about there. I'm just going to leave that to dry a minute. Come on, I'll just leave that to dry, and then what I'm going to do is on this circle I'm going to put some more hot glue. Get off. And I'm going to lay that over it. Okay. Just to give it a bit of an extra grip. And just squeezing that down, pressing that circle into the hot glue and onto the back of the flower. Try and get it as tidy as you can. And it will just help give some stability there. Okay, that's quite neat and tidy. And then over on the other side, I can get my bow, and I will use hot glue just to be quick, and I can glue that on there like so. And then I have my shaker wand. There you go. Super cute. I'd probably cut that down. That is the full length of the stick. You can cut them shorter. So you find the sticks in your baking section of your pound shops. If you're in the UK, Home Bargains sell them. Lots of places. So there you go. Go and have some fun and make some mini shaker wands. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, all of the measurements and all of the products used are over on my blog at scrimpingmommy.co.uk. If you need a recap, nip on over and have a look. Thanks for watching. Bye.